Good morning, my name's Chanel Hitchcock and I have a really important video today, and this one is what is burnout? Okay, so what makes me the authority to help you understand what burnout is? Well, I've actually come from a situation where 10 years ago I was suffering major burnout to the degree where it was a life-threatening situation. So I really couldn't function at all. I had trouble getting out of bed. I was shuffling around with very little energy. I had really bad chest pain whenever I did try and walk. I literally had no energy at all and spent most of my time in bed. And I was wondering why this was occurring. And it was only through my research that I realized it was my declining levels of cortisol that had caused the situation. Now I have really made a lot of progress in the last 10 years to the point now where I live a really wonderful life. So I've developed lots of proven strategies and helped lots of other people with these proven strategies. So this video is going to help you understand what is burnout. Well, when you're experiencing stress from any source, your body has to produce more of the adrenal hormone cortisol to cope with that stress. And if you're consistently producing higher levels of cortisol over time, then it has really serious and negative impact on your body, including making you more likely to get diabetes, insulin resistance, and gain weight. And also it's linked to osteoporosis. It disrupts the synapses in our brain, so it really isn't good for our brain function. It really weakens our immune system and leaves us vulnerable to all disease. And it causes insomnia. High levels of cortisol, if you're producing high levels of cortisol, you will find it very difficult to sleep. So producing high levels of cortisol over time is really not a good situation at all to be in. And unfortunately, 80% of us are in this situation. Now what happens is if you continue to expose yourself to chronic stress, what happens is your body starts to produce less and less cortisol over time because it just can't keep up with the chronic stress that you're putting yourself under, and it struggles to produce the amount of cortisol it needs to actually help with dealing with whatever stress you're exposing yourself to. So you start to produce declining levels of cortisol. That's what happens to me, and this is what's happening to up to 80% of us, and this is we're actually heading to the burnout situation. So you start with producing higher levels of cortisol, and then gradually over time, if the stress is consistent, you produce less and less cortisol, and you end up with what the doctors call, well, what the naturopaths and alternative doctors refer to as adrenal fatigue, or we commonly call it burnout. Now, once you get to that stage where you're producing really low levels of cortisol, you're probably like me, you just don't have any energy at all to even function, to get out of bed. Or you could be sort of, halfway down those declining levels, and you could be just really, like, no matter how much you sleep, and no matter how many sugar bars and coffees and things that you have, which are really debilitating, and I'll get into that into the next video as to why, you are still experiencing extreme fatigue. So extreme fatigue is one of the biggest symptoms of declining levels of cortisol or burnout. Other things would be anxiety, because you need normal levels of cortisol to feel calm. Having low blood sugar and hypoglycemia episodes where you feel dizzy, anxious, shaky, low energy. They are caused because you need normal levels of cortisol to maintain your blood sugar in a normal level. It also weakens your immune system, so you're more likely to be getting more coughs and colds and respiratory viruses. You're more likely to have them for longer because your body needs normal levels of cortisol to actually mount an immune response. So high levels of cortisol, really bad. Low levels of cortisol, really bad. Okay, so this video is going to stop there because in the next video, I'm going to actually explain some really important strategies to help you recover from burnout. But you do have the book, From Broken to Beautiful, How to Be Calm, Happy and Slim. All my advice is in that book. So I really encourage you to read it and you will really benefit from it. So thank you so much for listening, and I will connect with you next time in the next video, which is the important strategies how to overcome burnout. Bye.